Russia says an anti-Syria militant group is planning to carry out a chemical attack in Idlib province, with the aim of blaming it on the Arab country's government and provoking a US attack. The Russian Defense Ministry says foreign specialists have sneaked into Syria to stage a chemical incident.
They talked about some, let's say, navies, US navies, that they are moving and they are settling in some countries. So this means that there is a scenario, completed whole scenario. They are trying to do it, and maybe Russian announced came just to burn this scenario or to take it out to the common opinion that something is going to happen in Idlib, which I repeat and say that it's not new theater, it's an old theater.
The US National Security Advisor has said Washington will give a firm military response to Damascus if such an attack happens. John Bolton made the remark at a meeting with his Russian counterpart in Geneva. Syrian troops have had the upper hand on the battlefield since Russia intervened in the conflict in 2015. The army has recaptured much of the territory terror groups captured during the militancy that began in 2011. Observers say the Syrian government does not need to use chemical weapons, as they have been making rapid gains against militants countrywide, and their final victory is near. In April 2017, and again a year later, the US carried out missile strikes on Syrian targets as punishment for what it claimed were chemical attacks. Washington quickly blamed the alleged gassings on Damascus before an international investigation was complete.
When they see the Syrian army and its allies taking back areas, liberating their country, and trying to restore some sort of more normality in the country, this becomes very challenging for them. And they need an excuse then to send in strikes, and what better excuse than chemical weapons?
Since the government of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, backed by Russia and Iran, gained a decisive advantage over Western-backed militant groups, the US goals in Syria have shifted. President Donald Trump's administration, like its allies in the Persian Gulf, have largely abandoned the goal of toppling Assad, as they have realized there is no way they can achieve that goal. It's now more focused on staying in Syria to blunt the victory of the Syrian-Russian-Iranian alliance.
They don't have much capability unless they launch some sort of large-scale ground invasion and airstrikes throughout the country, and really will have to go to war with Russia in the process. They don't have the ability of defeating Syria and its allies.
US President Donald Trump on several occasions said he would leave Syria, but later his aides convinced him that it would be in the strategic interests of Washington to remain in Syria. Despite the US warning, analysts believe that any US attack on Syria, even after possible false flag operations by anti-Syria groups, would be limited. They say such actions are also aimed at portraying the US as being still relevant in Syria.
The proxy war on Syria is falling apart. It is failing. And Syria has won, and its allies have won. And it's just basically finishing the job.
The Syrian army and allies have been mustering troops and tanks around Idlib, the last stronghold of terror groups including Al-Qaeda franchise, the Al-Nusra Front. Nearly all military experts say the full liberation of Syria is only a matter of time, and that the US and its allies cannot prop up the militant groups packed into Idlib province.